Guitar Heroes, Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage here. Friends, today I'm going to be showing you 5 picking exercises that are going to increase your speed. Now, these 5 exercises are ones that I've used with my students for decades. They are tried and true. They absolutely are going to help to get your left and right hand synchronized, because friends, we're not just looking for the speed of what we can pick here. Really what we're looking for is we're looking for synchronization between the left and the right hand. And these 5 exercises are the exercises that are going to get you there. My friends, if you're new to my videos, then welcome. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of all the great videos that we're doing here. Let's get to that lesson. Dexterity exercise number 1 is the first exercise that I introduce to my students, because what it does is it allows you an opportunity to think about a few things. So for these 5 exercises, I really want you to be thinking about the basics of what we're going to be talking about for this exercise, but then through all 5 exercises. So those basics are, you want to make sure that you're playing on your fingertips. You want to make sure you're playing right behind the fret. So here, instead of back here where we're going to get mutes or buzzes. Doesn't sound as nice, so be right up on the fret. And then you also want to make sure that you're dropping your thumb behind the neck so that your knuckle can be curled. You want to curl this last knuckle, okay? I go into all of that sort of detail in my courses, but for right now, if you don't know that, you want to make sure that you're thinking that way throughout these exercises, all right? So the first exercise, you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. It's as simple as that. And you're going to take that and move it to the second string, same thing. You're going to do that on all 6 strings. Now, this may seem very elementary, but I promise you that this is the kind of stuff that's going to get your brain and your hand working together, okay? So you're going to do it across all 6 strings, then you're going to move it up a fret, and then you're going to move it up a fret and move it up a fret, because we want to be able to do this across all the frets. After that, you could come up with any combination that you could think of. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 3, 2. And you can start on the 2s, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, etc. And there are 24 different variations that you can use for this. I cover this extensively. If you want all those other details, I'll make sure to put a link to my free course that you can get that'll have all those other variations for it. Dexterity exercise number 2 is going to concentrate a little bit more on just using 2 fingers at a time. And the reason that this is the next set of exercises is once you get to using fingers 3 and 4, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Because at first, when we're just doing 1 and 2, and this is how the exercise is going to go, essentially it's like the first exercise, but we're just doing 2 frets and then moving on to the next string. So for instance, okay, for the first exercise and for the second exercise, you can either do just down strums or alternate picking, which is down, up, down, up. That's going to give you more speed, obviously, because you always have to come up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. After you get done with that, you can bring it back up. And then 2, 3. The importance here is to take your time with this and make sure that you're doing it accurately. Speed is something that happens because you're accurate. So focus on accuracy, not on speed. Speed's just going to frustrate you. Now when you get to 3 and 4, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because those fingers don't get as much exercise, especially the pinky, because it's shorter, right? So you really want to take your time with it. And remember, as we're going up the fretboard, so after you do this exercise, one time in the open position, then you're going to move it up, move it up, move it up. And as you're moving up, of course, your strings are higher, further away from the frets. So you might have to press a little further down. But what you're wanting is you're wanting this quan, you're wanting this middle ground where you're pressing down enough to make contact with the fret, but not so hard that it's hurting your fingers. And of course, this is why we're practicing. It does take time to do this. So just be cognizant of that as you're playing. Make sure that you're pressing down hard enough to make contact with the fret, but not so hard that you're overexerting yourself, because you need that stamina to do this throughout the neck. Dexterity exercise number 3 is one of those exercises that's really going to help with your reach on the guitar, what we call stretch and reach. Now, we're really not stretching our hand per se, but we're learning a technique that when we're fretting the guitar, we want to bring that thumb over the top of the neck like we're grabbing a shovel. That's the feel, that's the natural thing that we want to do, but we want to get away from that, okay? Because dropping the thumb behind the back of the neck will allow the hands to come out front more, and all of a sudden, those that thought they had small hands or short fingers will all of a sudden be able to reach the guitar like they hadn't before, okay? So for this, you drop your thumb behind the back of the neck, you get your hand out front, your fingers out front. Yes, it is uncomfortable. It's a bit like walking on your tiptoes. So it's going to be uncomfortable at first, and doing this exercise makes it not uncomfortable, right? Whatever we do a lot becomes easier. Whatever we do just a few times is going to be difficult. So you're dropping that thumb behind the back of the neck. You want to make sure you're playing on your fingertips and you're sweep picking. So you're going just across the strings like this, or you could use finger picking. In this case here, I'm doing strings 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's in 6, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You really want to take your time with this. Again, it's all about accuracy, not speed. Speed comes after accuracy. You can never be fast at something that you're inaccurate with. Never. Focus on the accuracy. It's going to be a lot more rewarding. It's going to get you there quicker as well. So what you want to do is this. You can follow the tab, but essentially what you're doing is with each sweep, you're moving one finger down while the other fingers remain. And then you're going to move the other finger down. And then you're going to move the other finger down, and then the other finger down. So this is how it should look. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. While you're doing this sweeping. So it will sound something like this. And we're starting higher up because we don't have as much reach. It will be easier to do. As we start getting down, the frets are fanning out further. It's harder to do. So you could even start this at the 12th fret. In this case here, I'm starting at the 9th fret, and it's going to sound something like this. Okay, doesn't sound great, but I promise you that if you do this exercise, do it often, it's going to help amazingly with the way that you're barring chords or playing any sort of chords, because it's getting your hand in the position that it needs to be in. Number 4 is economy picking. So when we're doing economy picking, essentially what we're doing is deciding to pick down or up depending on where we are at that moment. Let's talk about alternate picking for a minute. Alternate picking is when we just do down, up every single time. So if we're playing through a scale, down, up, 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 down. But if we were doing economy picking, we're thinking about that a little bit differently. And for this exercise here, I'm just giving you 4 notes just to get the idea across, okay? Basically, if we're picking, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And we're picking alternate picking. Then we would go down, up, down. We'd pass the string that we were going to pick, and then we pick up. So down, up, down, passing the string, and then come back up. That's strict alternate picking. And that's great. It has its uses. Economy picking says, what direction are you going in? What's the next string? So for instance, if we go down, up, down, now the next string is down. So instead of passing the string and coming back up, what we do is we go down, up, down, down, because the next string is right below me, right? So that exercise in and of itself is absolutely going to help you have more control so that you know what's going on with picking. Number 5 is sweep picking. Sweep picking is essentially a economy picking type of exercise or technique, if you will, but we don't have to really think as much with sweep picking in regards to up or down because we're sweeping across the strings, sweeping up the strings, down or up. Oftentimes it's used with arpeggios, and because of the spacing of the notes within a chord, it allows for this type of technique is typically associated with chords or arpeggios. So for instance, if we were doing an A major arpeggio, it might look something like this. So for this, I'm picking the majority of these down, 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 up, down, up, 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 up. So with the exception of that one note in there, it makes sense that we would sweep all of them down and all of them up. Now this one takes a little getting used to, just like all the exercises do. This is an exercise that's not used by a lot of guitar players, but some, notably, would be Yngwie Malmsteen, Vinnie Moore, Tony McAlpine. A lot of neoclassical style players, heavy metal, that sort of thing, will use arpeggios to play blazingly fast passages. Now at first this one's going to be awkward. It just is, because you're doing something new and you're thinking about it in a new way. But I promise you that if you practice it, you're going to get a lot better at it. It always has to do with practice. Something else I want you to remember with these 5 exercises is that even though these are picking exercises, we've talked about picking, we're fretting as well. We're always fretting while we're picking, and we're always picking while we're fretting, for the most part, unless we're doing 2-hand tapping or that sort of thing. So the two always have to be synchronized. When we're picking, it's not really that we're trying to increase the speed of our picking, but we're trying to increase the speed of the synchronization of the picking and the fretting at the same time. A lot of people don't think about that. They're just worried about picking fast. It doesn't have so much to do with that as it has to do with the speed of your synchronization of your fretting hand and your picking hand. If you can get that down, focus on the accuracy, not the speed. Focus on the accuracy. The speed is something that's going to happen for you. My friends, that is the lesson. If you like this, please smash that thumbs up button and also leave your comments below. You know I always love to hear what it is that you have to say, and by you letting me know what it is that you need, that helps me to help you. Friends, we're also on all social media, so join us there. We give away thousands of dollars worth of goodies every single month. As always, be kind to all beings. Do the right thing always. Practice your guitar. I'll see you in the next video. Synchronization? I said synchronization? Synchronization. 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 I said synchronization?
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord. One more time. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll teach that to you. It's going to be fun. I'll get it. Just calm down, Mike.
Take 36.
36, yeah.